Have you ever wondered how a city that ruled the world began with a wolf, a river, and two brothers who couldn't get along? Well, buckle up, because the story of Rome's founding has more twist than a spaghetti fork. Narration: our story begins in ancient Italy, where things were already chaotic. Enter Numitor, the king of Alba Longa, a city in central Italy. Numitor's life took a nosedive when his sneaky brother Amulius pulled a classic villain move and stole the throne. To keep Numitor's family from reclaiming power, Amulius forced Numitor's daughter, Rhea Silvia, to become a Vestal virgin, a priestess sworn to stay unmarried and childless. But fate and the Roman gods had other plans. Along came Mars, the god of war, who apparently couldn't resist Rhea Silvia's charm. They had twin sons, Romulus and Remus. Now, you'd think having a god as your dad would make life easier, but no. When Amulius found out about the twins, he panicked. He ordered them to be thrown into the Tiber River to drown. You know, as one does when you're an evil uncle in ancient myths. The twist: instead of sinking, the basket carrying the babies floated down the river like the ancient version of an Uber. It eventually washed up near a fig tree where a she-wolf, yes, a literal wolf, found them. Now, you might think wolves are bad news for babies, but this one? She was more of a babysitter. She nursed the twins and kept them safe, proving that sometimes wolves can be better than some relatives. Later, a kind shepherd named Faustulus found the boys and, together with his wife, raised them as their own. Romulus and Remus grew up strong, smart, and maybe a little wild. Being raised by a wolf will do that to you. The brothers' big idea. As adults, the twins decided they were destined for greatness. They wanted to build a city where they had been saved by the she-wolf. But here's where things got messy again. They couldn't agree on which hill to build on. Romulus liked the Palatine Hill, while Remus preferred the Aventine Hill. They tried to settle the argument the old-fashioned way, by asking the gods for a sign. Each brother stood on their chosen hill and waited. Remus saw 6 vultures fly overhead, but Romulus saw 12. Naturally, Romulus claimed the gods were on his side, because 12 vultures are clearly better than 6. Sibling rivalry gone too far. Like many sibling arguments, this one spiraled out of control. Instead of just flipping a coin, the brothers ended up in a deadly fight. In the end, Romulus killed Remus. Yes, that's right. Rome started with a good case of fratricide. Romulus went on to found the city in 753 BC and named it Rome after himself. Modesty clearly wasn't his strong suit. He became the first king and set about building walls, organizing an army, and turning his city into something great. But wait, there's more. Rome wasn't exactly bustling with people in the early days. To grow the population, Romulus pulled a bold move. He invited outlaws, fugitives, and misfits to settle in his city. It worked, but there was still one big problem. Rome didn't have enough women. So, Romulus threw a festival and invited the neighboring Sabines to join the party. During the celebrations, the Romans kidnapped or abducted, depending on how polite you want to be, the Sabine women. This event, known as the Rape of the Sabine Women, is one of Rome's darker legends. Surprisingly, the women later brokered peace between their Sabine families and their new Roman husbands, uniting the two groups. Rome takes shape. From these chaotic beginnings, Rome grew. Romulus ruled for many years before mysteriously disappearing in a storm or being taken to the heavens by Mars. Details are fuzzy. The city he founded would eventually become one of the greatest empires in history, but it all started with 2 brothers, a wolf, and some questionable life choices. Conclusion. So, the next time you hear about Rome and its grand history, remember its wild start. The city wasn't built in a day, but it was founded in a way that's part soap opera, part action movie. From gods and wolves to sibling drama and some very determined vultures. The story of Rome's founding proves that truth really is stranger than fiction. And who knows, maybe the next time you're arguing with your sibling, You'll think of Romulus and Remus and decide to settle things with fewer fists and definitely fewer vultures.